Everyone. Welcome to our regular board meeting for September 25th, 2024. If we could rise for the flag salute. Commissioner, can you start us off on that? Sure. Thank you. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you. Madam Secretary, will you please read the public notice statement?
Good morning. Adequate public notice has been given pursuant to the Open Public Meeting Act. Notice have been posted at the board's office and website and emailed to the Department of State and to newspapers of board circulation within the state.
Thank you. Can we have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Crystal DeLue. Commissioner Abdul.
Here.
Commissioner Baines.
Here.
And President Gul Sadovi.
Here. And our next public meeting?
The next regular board meeting will be held on Wednesday, October 9th. It'll be a hybrid meeting in person at the board hearing room at 44 South Clinton Avenue in Trenton and live streamed via YouTube.
Thank you. Just a few opening remarks from me and then perhaps from my colleagues before we go into our executive session today. I just want to raise the Residential Energy Assistance Payment Initiative. Affordability is always top of mind here. And so in the month of September, qualifying residents will be getting a $175 bill credit for low income, 278,000 qualifying low income residential ratepayers. So that should be coming on the electric or gas bill in the month of September. If you qualify for the winter, if you qualify and were enrolled for the winter termination program, you are eligible for that payment. So if you have not received it in your September bill and you think that you are eligible, please do contact your utility or us at the board, and we'll try to work through that. Couple other things. It is Drive Electric Week. Very exciting. I actually think it's 2 weeks of Drive Electric, but this is one of them. And our Charge Up program for vehicle incentives for electric vehicles has opened for its 5th year. We've awarded more than 37,000 rebates. This year, we have added an income qualifying incentive. So there is a $2,000 base incentive and then an additional $2,000 income qualifying incentive. And that's to help ensure that those who really need that incentive for affordability to make the switch to electric. So really excited about that. And again, you can visit our website. We are in Hispanic Heritage Month, which is a time to celebrate and honor the cultural and achievements of Americans with Hispanic background. So just want to acknowledge that. We also, next week is Rosh Hashanah, and wishing Happy New Year to all who celebrate. And I will just say, today is would have been my grandmother's 105th birthday. And so she and I were very close. So that's why I'm taking a moment to make that announcement. So I think that is, we have Robert Aaron. Jonathan Gordon in the Division of Clean Energy. And our Governor's Fellow is Danny Luzak, also in the Division of Clean Energy. Welcome, everyone. Good luck to you. We're really thrilled to have you and all of our staff. We do have a tremendous team here at the BPU, and I'm truly honored to get to work with you new staff and all of our existing staff who work incredibly hard at not just, day to day, but particularly as we approach our agenda meetings. We really appreciate the staff. So we will be going into executive session to discuss 4A and 8A through E. And we expect executive session to take 20 to 25 minutes. Will the AG's office please explain the justification for going into executive session?
Yes, good morning, President, Commissioners. For the record, I am DAG Stephen Chapler. Agenda items 4A, 8A, 8B, 8C, 8D, 8E, and item 9 fall within the contract negotiation and attorney-client privilege exception to the Open Public Meetings Act, which can be found in New Jersey Statute 10:
Favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thanks. We'll see you, 20 minutes. We are back. I know you were all very worried because we were in there a long time. But we have decided that we are going to defer 8A through C. And so we will do that now and move on to the regular agenda. I'm sorry? Consent first. Oh, sorry, consent. Skip that. All right, let's start with consent. Madam Secretary.
Madam President, it'll be 2 roll call votes for the consent agenda items. I'm going to start with the first set, which consists of consent agenda items 1A, 3A, 3B, C, and D, 4A, 4B, 4C, and 6A.
Second.
Questions or comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Crystal Delue? Yes. Commissioner Abdu? Yes. Commissioner Bange?
Yes.
And President Gosadovi.
Yes.
On the second consent agenda items would be item 5A and 5B.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Crystal Delue? Yes. Commissioner Abdu?
Yes.
Commissioner Bange?
Is that abstain? Abstain?
President Gosadovi. And President Gosadovi.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Now we can move on to the regular agenda with Stacy. Good morning.
Good morning, President. Good morning, Commissioners. On April 30th, Elizabethtown Gas filed a petition seeking rate adjustments to recover a revenue requirement of approximately $6.3 million associated with the company's infrastructure investment program through June 30th of 2024. On July 15th, the company provided updated schedules, modifying its request to a revenue requirement of $6.2 million. Following review of the petition, the update, and discovery, the parties have executed a stipulation requesting that the board authorize Elizabethtown to recover a revenue requirement of approximately $6.2 million. As a result of the stipulation, a typical residential heating customer will experience an increase in their monthly bill of $1.74. Staff recommends the board issue an order approving the stipulation and directing Elizabethtown to file revised tariffs by October 1st.
Second.
Questions or comments? Roll call, please.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Crystal Delue? Yes. Commissioner Abdu? Yes. Commissioner Bange?
Yes.
President Gosadovi.
Yes. 2B.
On May 31st, 2024, Elizabethtown Gas filed a petition seeking authorization to increase the level of its periodic basic gas supply service rate and modify its conservation incentive program rates for the period October 1, 2024 through September 30th of 2025. On July 16th, Elizabethtown filed amended CIP schedules, which resulted in modifications to the proposed CIP rates. Following an initial review and discussions, the parties have determined that while additional time is needed to complete a review of the petition, it's reasonable and in the public interest for Elizabethtown to implement provisional BGSS and CIP rates. Accordingly, the parties executed a stipulation for provisional rates, subject to refund with interest. As a result of the provisional stipulation, an average residential customer will see an increase in their monthly bill of $4.17. Staff recommends the board issue an order adopting the provisional stipulation and directing Elizabethtown to file revised tariffs prior to October 1st. Staff further recommends that this matter be transmitted to the Office of Administrative Law for hearing.
Second.
Questions or comments? Roll call, please.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Crystal Delue? Yes. Commissioner Abdu?
Yes.
Commissioner Bange?
Yes.
And President Gosadovi.
Yes. 2C.
On March 28th, New Jersey Natural Gas filed a petition seeking approval to adjust the Infrastructure Investment Program tariff component of its base rates to recover a revenue requirement of $5.65 million associated with certain investments incurred through June 30th of 2024. On July 26th, the company provided updated schedules and modified its requested revenue requirement to $5.35 million. Following review of the petition and the update, the parties have executed a stipulation requesting the board authorize New Jersey Natural to adjust its IIP component to recover a revenue requirement of $4.67 million. As a result of the stipulation, a typical residential heating customer will see an increase in their monthly bill of 71 cents. Staff recommends the board issue an order approving the stipulation and directing New Jersey Natural to file revised tariffs by October 1st.
Second.
Questions or comments? Roll call, please.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Crystal Delue? Commissioner Abdul? Commissioner Bange?
Yes.
And President Gosadovi?
Yes. Wow, still here.
It's going to be a while.
Yes, I see that.
On May 31st, New Jersey Natural Gas filed a petition requesting authority to modify its periodic basic gas supply service rate, its balancing charge rate, and conservation incentive program rates. Through discovery, New Jersey Natural updated the proposed CIP rates to reflect actual information through June 30th. Following an initial review and discussions, the parties have executed a stipulation recommending that the board approve a provisional stipulation to allow the parties time to continue to review the petition. Based on the stipulation, the combined impact of the proposed changes on a typical residential heating customer is a monthly decrease of 12 cents. Staff recommends the board issue an order adopting the stipulation and directing New Jersey Natural to file revised tariffs by October 1st. Staff further recommends that this matter be transmitted to the Office of Administrative Law for hearing.
Second.
Questions or comments? Roll call, please.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Crystal Delue? Commissioner Abdul?
Yes.
Commissioner Bange?
Yes.
President Gosadovi?
Yes. 2E.
I'm about halfway through.
Yeah, I see.
On May 31st, Public Service Electric and Gas Company filed a petition seeking approval to decrease its basic gas supply service residential gas service rate, as well as increase its balancing charge rate. Following an initial review and discussions, the parties have determined that while additional time is needed to complete a review, it's reasonable and in the public interest for PSE&G to implement provisional rates for, which will be subject to refund with interest. As a result of the provisional stipulation, the annualized average monthly bill of a typical residential customer will decrease by approximately $5.85. Staff recommends the board issue an order adopting the provisional stipulation and directing PSE&G to file revised tariffs by October 1st. Staff further recommends this matter be transmitted to the Office of Administrative Law.
Second.
Questions or comments? Roll call, please.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Crystal Delue? Commissioner Abdul? Commissioner Bange?
Yes.
And President Gosadovi?
Yes. 2F.
On May 31st, PSE&G filed a petition seeking approval to modify the customer class rates associated with the company's gas conservation incentive program to account for potential lost sales revenues stemming from the company's energy efficiency programs. Following an initial review, the parties executed a stipulation recommending implementation of the proposed rates on a provisional basis, subject to refund. As a result of the stipulation, the monthly impact on a typical residential customer is a decrease of 4 cents. Staff recommends the board issue an order approving the provisional stipulation and directing PSE&G to file revised tariffs by October 1st.
Second.
Questions or comments? Roll call, please.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Crystal Delue? Commissioner Abdul? Commissioner Bange?
Yes.
And President Gosadovi?
Yes. G.
On April 30th, South Jersey Gas Company filed a petition seeking approval of a rate adjustment to recover a revenue requirement of $4.24 million associated with the company's infrastructure investment program investments through June 30th. On July 15th, the company provided updated schedules and updated its requested revenue requirement to $4.22 million. Following a review of the petition and the update, the parties have executed a stipulation recommending that the board authorize South Jersey Gas to recover a revenue requirement consistent with the update. As a result of the stipulation, a typical residential heating customer will experience an increase in their monthly bill of $1.14. Staff recommends the board issue an order approving the stipulation and directing South Jersey to file revised tariffs by October 1st.
Second.
Questions or comments? Roll call, please.
On a motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Crystal Delue? Commissioner Abdul? Commissioner Bange?
Yes.
And President Gosadovi?
Yes. 2H. Last one.
I'm on it. On May 31st, South Jersey Gas filed a petition seeking approval to increase the level of its periodic basic gas supply service charge, modify the levels of its balancing service clause charges, and to revise the company's conservation incentive program rates for the period October 1, 2024 through September 30th of 2025. Through discovery, the company updated the proposed rates to reflect more recent information. Following an initial review, the parties determined that additional time is needed to complete a review, but that it was reasonable and in the public interest for the company to implement provisional rates subject to refund with interest. The parties have executed a stipulation which, if approved by the board, would decrease the monthly bill of a typical residential customer by $1.51. Staff recommends the board issue an order adopting the provisional stipulation and directing South Jersey to file revised tariffs by October 1st. Staff further recommends that this matter be transmitted to the Office of Administrative Law for hearing.
Second.
Questions or comments? Roll call, please.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Crystal DeLu? Commissioner Abdul?
Yes.
Commissioner Bain?
Yes.
President Gulsadovia?
Nice job. Long one for you. Maureen, 2I.
Good morning, Commissioners. This matter concerns the electric and gas utilities annual compliance filing to determine the Universal Service Fund and Lifeline program budgets and rates for the upcoming program year. USF and Lifeline provide energy assistance benefits to over 200,000 low-income New Jersey households. The utilities submitted their annual compliance filing to the board on June 28, 2024. In the filing, the utilities requested rate adjustments to recover USF budget of approximately $236.5 million. The June filing also included costs to recover a Lifeline program budget of $74.6 million. The June filing proposed an increase to the USF gas and electric rates, an increase to the Lifeline electric rate, and a decrease in the Lifeline gas rate. The June filing included 7 months of actual costs and 5 months of estimated costs. In the June filing, the utilities also requested recovery of their USF-related administrative costs and that the USF and Lifeline interim rates approved by the board last September be finalized. In July 2024, the utilities updated the information to include 9 months of actual cost data through June 2024 and 3 months of estimated data through September 2024. However, the update would have resulted in a rate that was higher than publicly noticed and therefore could not be used. In August 2024, the utilities updated the information to include 10 months of actual data. However, this update would have also resulted in a rate that was higher than publicly noticed and therefore could not be used. The gas and electric utilities each held 2 virtual public hearings. At the JCP&L public hearing, 3 members of the public attended, of which 1 member of the public made comments that she was opposed to rate increases, criticized JCP&L for neglecting to keep rates low, and claimed there was little effort to control rates. The constituent argued that JCP&L provides inadequate service and mishandles vegetation management. The constituent suggested there should be alternative options for ratepayers. On September 10, 2024, Rate Council submitted comments regarding the June 2024 filing and subsequent updates and recommended the following: that the board consider the most recent actual cost and revenue data updated through July 2024 with proposed adjustments by Rate Council, make adjustments to the societal benefits charge carrying costs, make adjustments to forecasting methodologies, and order a more comprehensive audit of supporting amounts used to calculate the rates in next year's filing. Rate Council also concluded it does not object to the utilities' request for recovery of their actual administrative costs incurred in association with the USF program, took no position regarding the reasonableness of the Department of Community Affairs' proposed USF administrative budget, recommended that the board consider the most recent available actual cost and revenue data in establishing the USF Lifeline rates, and did not object to the board making the present interim USF and Lifeline rates permanent. On September 13, 2024, the utilities submitted reply comments requesting the board to approve the proposed USF and Lifeline rates for the 2024-2025 program year, along with approving administrative expenses incurred by the utilities from July 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2024. The utilities further urged the board to finalize the current USF interim rates, making them permanent as of the new rate period. After reviewing the June filing and all the related submissions, staff recommends the following: that the board approve the Lifeline rates contained in the June filing, with rates to be effective for service rendered on and after October 1st, 2024. These rates support a Lifeline program budget of $74.6 million. The board approve the USF rates proposed in the June filing with rates to be effective for service rendered on and after October 1st, 2024. These rates support a USF budget of approximately $236.5 million. Staff recommends the board direct the utilities to file revised tariffs by September 30th, 2024. Staff recommends the board direct staff to reimburse the utilities for the USF-related administrative costs, which total $36,226. Staff recommends the board finalize the current interim USF rates that were approved in the September 27th, 2023 board order, as these have been reviewed and trued up. Staff recommends the board permit subsequent USF compliance filings and its associated interim rates to be examined and finalized in subsequent proceedings. Staff recommends the board reject rate counsel's comments, recommended adjustments and proposed modifications to forecasting methodologies at this time, but direct the utilities to work collaboratively with staff and rate counsel prior to the 2025 filing to determine whether any adjustments to the methodologies is warranted. Finally, staff recommends the board order staff to initiate a more comprehensive audit of the supporting amounts used to calculate the USF Lifeline rates for the next program year. If approved, the combined USF Lifeline rates represent an overall increase of $9.90 for an average residential gas customer utilizing 1,000 therms per year, and an overall increase of $7.02 for an average residential electric customer utilizing 7,800 kilowatt hours per year. The combined USF Lifeline annual bill would be $50.76 per year for an average residential customer who uses both gas and electric, which would be a net increase of $16.91.
Second.
Just want to acknowledge that the USF program opens October 1st, correct, Maureen? And
Yes.
that is a program along with the federal LIHEAP program that helps make energy bills more affordable for income qualifying customers. Questions or comments? Roll call, please.
On a motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Crystal Delue? Commissioner Abdul?
Yes.
Commissioner Bange?
Yes.
And President Gulsadovy.
Yes, thanks, Maureen.
Thank you.
3A, Rwanda.
Good morning, Madam President, Commissioners.
Morning.
Item 3A involves the release of the Office of Cable Television and Telecommunications Ascertainment Report for the first phase of the renewal of the system-wide franchise of CSC TKR LLC. On January 11th, 2010, CSC TKR notified the board of its intention to convert its franchise in the borough of Allentown into a system-wide cable television franchise as provided in the 2006 amendments to the New Jersey Cable Television Act. The conversion was memorialized by board order issued on February 11th, 2010, which granted CSC TKR a system-wide cable television franchise for a term of 7 years. During this term, CSC TKR converted an additional 35 municipalities, and on February 22nd, 2017, the board issued a renewal franchise to CSC TKR for a term of 7 years, which expired on January 10, 2024. Franchise renewals are governed by the Federal Communications Policy Act, the State Act, and the OCTV&T's rules under the New Jersey Administrative Code. Ascertainment is the term utilized to explain the fact-finding process required under the Federal Act for franchise renewals to examine the past performance of the cable operator and identify the future cable-related needs of the community. Pursuant to the board's rules, prior to the filing of a renewal application by the provider, the OCTV&T must issue an ascertainment report to the board, which must be made available to the public. The board's review in the report is limited to CSC TKR's performance and statewide needs and requirements established under the Act, the extent to which they've met their franchise commitments, and performance and substantial compliance with material terms and conditions of the franchise. On May 11th, 2021, CSC TKR notified the board of its intention to renew its franchise, and on June 20, 2024, the OCTV&T notified CSC TKR of its intention to review the company's performance under the franchise and invited the company to file comments on its performance. CSC TKR filed its comments with the OCTV&T on July 22nd, 2024. The report prepared by the OCTV&T addresses CSC TKR's comments and reviews the past performance under the franchise. Pursuant to the franchise renewal rules, CSC TKR will file its formal franchise renewal application in several months following the release of the report, and 2 public hearings will be held thereafter to provide opportunity for public comment on the application prior to final board review. Staff therefore recommends that the board approve the release of the OCTV&T report in compliance with the renewal process for CSC TKR system-wide franchise.
Second.
Questions or comments? Roll call, please.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Crystal Delue? Yes. Commissioner Abdul? Commissioner Bainbridge?
Yes.
President Gul Sidoti?
Yes. Wanda, staying with us.
Yes.
4A.
4A. This matter involves a proposed second extension of the existing contract with T-Mobile Accessibility, formerly known as Sprint, for the provisioning of telecommunications relay services, or TRS, in New Jersey. TRS is a telephone service that allows people with hearing, vision, or speech disabilities to place and receive telephone calls from standard telephone users via a keyboard, computer, or other assistive technologies. The current contract for TRS services was awarded to Sprint for a term of 5 years under a RFQ issued by the board in 2018. Sprint merged with T-Mobile shortly after the 2018 contract was awarded, and T-Mobile provided service through the contract period from October 1, 2018 through September 30th, 2023. On September 29th, 2023, the board approved a 1-year extension of the TRS contract with T-Mobile with an expiration date of September 30th, 2024. On June 27th, 2024, the board authorized the release of the RFQ to solicit proposals for a new contract. The bid due date was extended at the request of the bidders due to a large number of questions that were submitted, requiring additional time for responses. On August 23, 2024, T-Mobile provided an extension offer to the board with a proposal to extend the terms under the current contract from October 1 to December 31, 2024. Because the extended contract is set to expire on September 30th, an extension is necessary to prevent a gap in service, as well as afford the board sufficient time to address the RFQ responses and secure necessary Treasury approvals and ensure a smooth transition from the existing contract to a new contract vendor if necessary. Staff therefore recommends that the board approve the second extension request of the contract for the 3-month period, extending it through December 31, 2024.
Thank you.
Second.
Questions or comments? Roll call, please.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Crystal Delue? Yes. Commissioner Abdul?
Yes.
Commissioner Bainbridge?
Yes.
President Gul Sidoti?
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
We are going to 8D. Dr. Morgan.
Good morning, Commissioners. This matter involves a request for quotation for escrow services. Staff seeks approval to hire a contractor to assist with the escrow requirement in the Community Solar Energy Program. All projects accepted into the CSEP are required to submit an escrow deposit of $40 per kilowatt of DC capacity following acceptance into the program, which would be returned to the project owner after completion of the project or forfeit to the state if a project is canceled. On April 30th, 2024, the board authorized the release of an RFQ to hire a contractor to provide these escrow services. On July 15th, 2024, the response to the RFQ was received and subsequently evaluated and scored by an evaluation committee of board staff members. Staff, with assistance from the board's Division of Budget and Fiscal, will work with the Department of Treasury to receive all necessary approvals to procure a contractor through the waivers of advertising process. Staff recommends the board award the contract to the recommended vendor as discussed in executive session.
Second.
Questions or comments? Roll call, please.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Crystal Delue? Yes. Commissioner Abdul?
Yes.
Commissioner Bainbridge?
Yes.
And President Gul Sidoti?
Yes. Thank you. 8E.
Morning, Commissioners.
Good morning. Still here.
Still here.
Sorry, missed my timing cue on that one, Kev. 8E.
Yes. On April 7th, 2021, the board awarded the Green and Healthy Homes Initiative a contract regarding the Whole House Pilot Program, which takes a whole house approach as described in the 2019 New Jersey Energy Master Plan by working to address health and safety hazards that prevent weatherization and implement energy efficiency measures in single and multifamily residences occupied by low-income residents. Trenton was selected as the location of the Whole House Pilot Program and was designed to serve as the model and basis for scaling up a statewide Whole House Pilot Program, or a statewide Whole House Program. Lessons learned will be used to inform such a statewide program, and a final report detailing and analyzing the results of the pilot program will be delivered for the board's consideration upon the conclusion of the project. As discussed in executive session, staff requests and recommends that the board approve the contract extension.
Second.
Questions or comments? Roll call, please.
On a motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Crystal Delue? Yes. Commissioner Abdul? Yes. Commissioner Baines?
Yes.
And President Gulcedovi.
Thanks, Kev.
Thank you.
8F. Catherine.
Good morning, President Gulcedovi, Commissioners.
Morning.
This item addresses Invenergy Wind Offshore LLC's July 22nd, 2024 motion to stay enforcement of the board's order approving Leading Light Wind's 2,400 megawatt project as a qualified offshore wind project, for which a board order was issued on January 24th, 2024. The motion requests that the board maintain the status quo by staying enforcement of the January 24, 2024 order. In its motion, Invenergy describes negative developments related to the supply and costs of wind turbine generators that occurred during the application process for the board's third offshore wind renewable energy certificate solicitation, as well as following the January 24, 2024 order. These negative developments have left Invenergy without a viable wind turbine supplier for its Leading Light Wind project. Invenergy has requested the motion to provide Invenergy with the additional time to negotiate with wind turbine manufacturers in order to secure a cost-effective wind turbine option for the Leading Light Wind project. Upon consideration of Invenergy's motion and comments received from Rate Counsel, board staff recommends that the board approve Invenergy's motion to stay enforcement of the January 24, 2024 order until December 20th, 2024.
Second.
Thanks. Just a couple comments from me. So we are committed in New Jersey to our offshore wind goals. It is critical towards our fight and to mitigate climate change. And I think that this action will allow Invenergy to find a suitable wind turbine supplier. We look forward to them delivering on the project that will help grow our clean energy workforce and contribute to the clean energy generation for the state. Thank you. Other questions, comments?
Madam President, I'd just like to share your optimism, and I'm fully confident that they'll be able to work through these little hurdles and make sure that an industry which has taken over in many places in the world will apply here in New Jersey as well, and we'll be benefiting from clean energy in the very near future. So I share your optimism, and I look forward to their continued progress.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
On a motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Crystal Delue? Yes. Commissioner Abdul?
Yes.
Commissioner Baines?
Yes.
And President Gulcedovi.
Thank you, Catherine. 8G, Olivia.
Good morning, Madam President and Commissioners. This agenda item concerns two motions for reconsideration filed on March 4th and 5th, 2024 by Altus Power LLC on the order dated February 14th, 2024, which denied their petitions seeking extensions of time to complete projects within the Transition Incentive or TI program. On February 14th, 2024, the board issued an order that denied two petitions filed by Altus Power seeking extensions in the TI program for 28 community solar projects. The board rejected petitioners' claim that these projects were similarly situated to those granted an extension in the Gibbstown order. Altus Power requested that the board reconsider the denial for 16 of the 28 projects, drawing a parallel to pilot year 1 projects that the board granted a 6-month extension to in its August 17th, 2022 order. Staff notes that the same order that granted the Pilot Year 1 extension also granted a blanket 6-month extension to all Pilot Year 2 projects, including those that are at issue in the motions for reconsideration. Based upon careful review of Altus Power's arguments and the February 2024 order denying further extensions under the TI program, staff recommends the board deny the motions.
Second.
Questions or comments? Roll call, please.
On the motion to approve staff's recommendation, Commissioner Crystal Delune? Commissioner Abdul?
Sorry.
Yes.
Commissioner Page?
Yes.
And President Goldsadovy?
Yes. Thank you. Thanks, Olivia. And that concludes our agenda. The litigation matters was a executive-only item for 9, and there's no formal action today on that. So can I please have a motion to adjourn?
I got it this time.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Thanks, everybody. Have a great week.
How you feeling?
Not great.